Internets, this episode of the Premium Pete Show, we sit down with the one and only DJ Ted Smooth. We talk about his love for hip-hop. We talk about remixing songs, even with Beyoncé, his relationships with Funk Flex, Cool DJ Red Alert, and more. We also talk about his favorite Spanish foods, his pops, and how he wants to punch him in the face if he sees him. But listen, before we get to the show, I want you to at Premium Pete Show right now. Check in. Let me know where the fuck you're listening from. It's from London, Latvia. If it's from Brooklyn,
Internet,
wherever it's from, Dallas, you tell them. Check in right now. Even if you just want to write Premium Pete, fuck you. Let us know. And let's get to the show right now with DJ Ted Smooth. Chea.
Come on, everybody get set, let's go. It's the next episode. It's the Premium Pete Show. News, interviews, all of the info. Listen up, it's the Premium Pete Show. If you want the scoop in the low, down low, listen to the show, cause Milk said so. Fuck what you heard, better act like you know. It's the Premium Pete Show.
Internets, welcome back to another episode of the Premium Pete Show. I finally got my man, my guy. This one's been taking a minute to happen. Kinda. It's been bubbling. It's like, you know, sometimes when you put the hard-boiled eggs, like when you put eggs in a pot, you put it in there. I put it for 15 minutes. You know what I mean? I let it get boiled. I put salt in the pot, and then 15 minutes, after 15 minutes, I put it out, and then I put cold water in the pot, right? But this one don't need no cold water. You know, listen, it's been a while to have this happen, and it's always good to have a friend on, but more importantly, somebody who is passionate, creative, and doing, you know, really perfected his craft in his lane. A man of many things, I would say, besides a DJ. But do you consider yourself a DJ first? Yeah, DJ first, man. Okay, DJ first. Listen, the remix king. Okay, I mean, come on, straight face. You remember? My man, DJ Ted Smooth.
Yes, sir.
He's in the building. Listen, finally.
What's cracking?
Finally, we here.
Finally. There was a big fire behind us 30 minutes ago. It almost threw me off.
Hey, listen, for somebody who listens to a lot of podcasts, too.
All of them.
Over the years, you always listen to anything. You know, I've seen you always listen to a bunch of different podcasts. And you know what I really enjoyed? That you would always take a gem from that podcast and post it.
You got to do it.
And you would post like, yo, today's gems is courtesy of, you know, Premium Pete Show or Combat Jack or maybe it was Drink Champs. You know.
The gems come from wherever. I could be like in the street and hear somebody talking to somebody, be like, whoa. Like anything that's like, okay, I get that. I just share it. I just feel like, why keep it to yourself? You know what I'm saying? Share the wealth. So
sure, it's important. I think if you know something or hear something or believe something's inspiring, it's important to share it. More importantly, if somebody said something that really inspired you, I think it's important to let them know that. You know, in this day and age, we talk about, you know, even with the passing of Prodigy a couple of weeks ago, you know, you look at it, you know, it's like people don't give their roses while they're here. You know what I mean? And we keep on saying it. It's just the thing I feel that is get redundant, especially in hip hop. You know, but like I think not only just artists in general, we need to start loving and appreciate people more while they're here. And like I said, not just artists. So maybe there's somebody you fuck with, you know, that you know, it could be a friend of yours. It could, you know, even on social media, if you're fucking with some guy that or a girl that you know and she's dope at what she does, give her a shout. You know what I mean? Let her know, like, yo, I fuck with what you do. Or I think what's her name is dope. You know what I mean? I think this one is dope. And I think that's important to spread that positivity. Let me tell you something. Many years ago, I really didn't give a fuck about positivity like that. But over the years, I really realized, man, there's just a great amount of success and peace. You know, like people look for success in money or watches or you know, material things. Yeah. As I get older, maybe it's just me, but I find success in peace and being peaceful. You know, just living a life where you know with your family and obviously there's things always go wrong and arguments happen and women drive men crazy and vice versa. You know, you didn't clean the dishes and you know the baby, you know, but there's a lot of peace in being peaceful. Yeah,
I mean, it's just when everything settles down, when life settles down for you, you settle down with it, and you start deciphering what's more important than the other things. So. Sure.
Listen, for those who don't know, DJ Ted Smooth, DJ, also, you know, a content creator, I will call you. Also, a remixer, you know. But the thing is this. with Straight Face You Remember. That is something that plays in the beginning of your set. It's like your drop.
Yeah,
that's Just Blaze, no?
It's my tagline.
Is that Just Blaze?
No,
it sounds like Just Blaze.
Hell no.
I swear to God. Yo, you can't say that doesn't sound like Just Blaze.
That's the first time I've ever heard that.
Is that the first time you ever heard that?
That my drop sounds like Just Blaze?
Yeah, who is that?
I mean, that's me.
Really?
Hold on. Test move, Straight Face, you remember?
Okay, there we go.
Right, so we share the raspiness, right?
Yeah.
But I don't. His voice is different than mine.
Well, listen. Hey, listen. I feel it sounds like Just Blaze, but and that wouldn't be bad if it was Just Blaze on the drop saying that. You know?
I mean,
you know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Don't wait for him to pass away for you to want that drop. You know what I mean?
Oh no. I'm good. I mean, that drop is like, you could tell 9 out of 10 people like, yo, that's Test Smooth right there, and they'd be like, what? Tech what? 2 what? Like they just, and then you like, Test Smooth, Straight Face. Oh, that's my favorite joint.
Now, a lot of stuff that you remix, and we'll go through that throughout the episode. Right. But what I want to go through is you're a young Dominican kid, living in where?
Right now?
No, where'd you grow up?
Oh, I actually was born. I lived on 104th Street and Columbus Avenue till I was.
And that's considered Harlem,
no? That's the West Side.
West Side.
That's the West
Side. You have
Side.
to understand, there's people right now listening in Scandinavia.
Right.
They don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
That's
when you're
the
saying
West Side of Manhattan.
Okay,
right?
There we go.
So then, I lived there until the year of the blackout. So I think it was 79 or 78. One of those years. What happened was I probably was like 6 years old, and we had just got the okay to get the apartment in Wagner Projects on the east side of East Harlem, which is on 122nd and First Avenue, and we moved the 95% of our stuff. The day.
Who are you talking about?
That's my family, my mother, my father, my 2 older sisters, and my older brother. So.
And what did Pops do?
He was a mechanic.
Oh, car mechanic.
Yeah, he was a car mechanic.
Okay.
And actually like an artist. He did his little artist thing, as well.
Spanish art?
Yeah, Spanish. He was a lead singer for a band.
Really?
Yeah, I used to play the tambora. I used to go to all the rehearsals.
What the fuck is a tambora?
Tambora is like a Dominican instrument that is, if I could describe it, it looks like a medium-sized garbage can, but if you turn it to the side, it has leather cowhide on both sides, and one side you hit it with your hand, the other one with a stick, and it goes.
Let me ask you something. Does that thing have on it property of the Department of Sanitation in New York?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, just
it doesn't. So we moved 95% of our stuff to Wagner to the new apartment, and the next night, the blackout happened. That's me. The blackout happened, and then about a day after that, we was like, let's go back and get the rest of our stuff that we had in the old apartment, and the entire building was burned down.
Really? It was a fire.
So we missed the entirely burned out building in 3 days. It was
so all your
crazy.
stuff in there was.
No, there was a couple of things left.
Okay.
We went back, but by 2 days, like the building was burnt.
Oh, thank God.
So that was crazy. So then, we moved to Wagner. That was late 70s, early 80s. And then I raised there all my life, basically.
Now, is that what is Spanish Harlem, for those who don't know? Is that considered Spanish Harlem? Where is Spanish Harlem?
Spanish Harlem is from First Avenue to Madison Avenue, and from 97th, that's Isaac Projects, 97th to 124th Street. So it's that, in some parts of 130th when you go to Lexington Avenue. So that's East Harlem or Spanish Harlem or El Barrio. So that's the that's the guidelines.
Yeah. So
after you pass Madison and go to 5th, now that becomes Harlem.
Now what did moms do?
My mother was a seamstress.
Seamstress, really?
Yeah, my mother made our clothes when we were little. Like, I mean, people have seen some of the posts I put up, man. 3-piece joints.
Yeah,
like,
I've seen that.
Yellow
joint.
All that. Yellow-green combo, vest. Like, it was... let me tell you something. My mother made a killing when the Hawaiian outfits came out. Remember the Hawaiian suits?
Yep.
They were popular. yo, nobody could top me in Hawaiian suits. Yeah. I had them, because she used to get the fabric from the warehouse and like make any pattern of Hawaiian. I had it, and she would make it like in a day. Like she had the pattern already, so she would like sell Hawaiian suits through the hood. Like people would come to my mom's house and pick up an outfit. You know, she sewed curtains. She did everything. She was amazing. I mean, I can sew myself. You know what I'm saying? I learned from her. Yeah, I can hem pants and stuff like that. So, yeah, my mother was a seamstress for all her life.
Now, mom and dad, you know, were together for your whole life growing up?
No, they were. I just posted a Father's Day post. Some people started crying and whatever. My dad, he was a sucker. Right, let's keep it real. He left us.
When you say that, why do you say he's a sucker?
I'm explaining it. He left the family when I was, I want to say 7, 8 years old. You know, him and my mom, I still don't know to the day what actually happened. But they had an argument, he left, and I haven't seen him since.
And you never asked mom what happened? Or?
No, my family was just here for my aunt's 60th birthday, and while we was having a dinner with my sisters, and I asked them, I said, yo, do y'all know what really happened? Because after I put that post, that Father's Day post, like basically saying, listen, I ain't grew up with a dad, and that's kind of why I am the dad I am, because I would never do that to my child. I would never do that to my daughter, Ty. I would never, or Avery. I would never do that because it affected me for years, and I didn't know like where the frustration was coming from. You dig what I'm saying? So finally, when I got the opportunity to have this conversation with my daughter, she was like maybe like 9 years old, and she just started crying. She was like, wow, like, now I understand why you work so hard for me and why you love me the way you do, because I just broke the cycle. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know,
it's very important.
Let me tell you something, and I applaud you for that. You know, it's you know, I believe so much in you know, I always push presence over presence and how important it is to be in your kid's life. You know, a couple episodes ago we had Memphis Bleak on, and he was talking about where he was talking to his kid. And he was telling his kid, like, you know, that he don't. He's like, wait, you have no father, Daddy? Because he said he don't even know who his father is. If he wouldn't even be able to tell him in the street. And he said, I think his son turned to him and was like, yo, nobody take you out to play ball? Nobody take you out to go here? And he's like, nah. He's like, I'm gonna do that for you, Daddy. And he said he almost cried from just that.
Real.
You know, I always speak about parenting. You know, I always speak about how it affects a lot of us. You know, women or men. You know, how it affects when you don't grow up with a father. You know, it hurts you. It really affects you. And you know, it took you a long time to see that. You know, if you ever seen Pops today, you know, what would you even say to him?
Today, because I just said this the other day, like, if I seen him today, I'll punch him in the face.
Right.
Like, I just told my sisters this, because some of them have stayed in contact with him over the years. And even one time, my sister Rosa, she's like, you know, she's just a sweetheart, and she's like, you know, the biggest advocate of, you know, oh, but that's still your dad. And I'm like, no. So she convinced me to go meet him. This one I was like, I want to say I was 19, and she finally convinced me to go meet him. And at that time, he had a garage on the west side on 157th around there and Amsterdam Avenue. And at this time, he already had like 2 other kids, you know, whatever. And, you know, I go see him to see, you know, what was he actually going to say. And, yeah, I walked in the garage, you know, he looked at me, I looked at him, and he walked right by me. Like, he walked right by me and then sat a little small talk with my sister and went about his business. And I left. I was like, you see? Like, never again. And I left it alone. But just the other day I was having this conversation, and you know, it gets frustrating when you have that conversation, especially with family, because what they don't understand is that I was the closest to him. You dig what I'm saying? So I was, you know, I did the baseball, like he was like my favorite. You dig what I'm saying?
Your hero. Yeah, your hero.
It affected me the most because I was the closest to him. Like, he literally had a fight with my mom. I ran after him when he was leaving, and I was like, no, I'm going with you. We stood in somebody's house. I forget whose house it was. And the next day he dropped me off at school, right, which is Holy Rosary on 120th and Pleasant Avenue. His garage was on 118th Street and Pleasant Avenue. He said, I'm going to come pick you up after work. Never seen him. Yeah. Left the garage, left everything. And I'm like, you don't fucking do that. You know what I'm saying? So if I was to see him today, I will punch him in the face.
I believe you with that, but before we leave this earth, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you look back at some things that you would have did different. And you look at some things that you want to do. We have these bucket lists, so to speak. As we get older, you want to think of shit like that. I know you would punch him in the face. I believe you. But is there something that you would really like to tell him, too? And the reason why I asked you that for is because when I seen your post that you put up, that shit was powerful.
Yeah.
And so many people go through that shit. And not many people talk about it.
Yeah.
Of how they're affected. And we speak about it so many times on these episodes with so many people. And I just want to bring awareness because I love people like you and a bunch of other people that I know and friends of mine who are great fathers to their kids. And I talk about it all the time, how, there's so much more love for kids these days where parents are kissing their kids more, hugging their kids more, in their lives more. Like, I love seeing that. There's nothing wrong with that. I go to my kids' swim class. I see fathers hugging their kids and loving, and I love seeing that shit, bro. When my daughter's 17. When I was young, when she was younger, I used to go to like dance class when she was 2-3 years old. I was the only guy there. They looked at me like I was some outcast.
Crazy,
But it is what it is. But the point I'm making is there anything you would say to Pops too, besides a punch in the face? Nothing like, yo, you left me.
No,
or nothing.
I'll beat the shit out of him, to be honest, and I'll say that with a smile on my face because he's had more than enough opportunity and chances to, you know what I'm saying, to make right, or even to care enough to even ask me, like, but he's like done. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's no, and I say that with like no remorse at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't mean to sound harsh in any way, whatever. If I do, if I don't. Really don't care. I'm so, the minute I had my daughter and had the opportunity to reverse that cycle,
break those chains,
I let it go.
Yeah,
I let it go, and I was able to just be like, you know what, I'm doing my part now, and that's it. I can live with that.
And that's why they call kids the reason. I call them all the time the reason. Facts. Because they become the reason to change, the reason to do things, the reason just for motivation, dedication, determination. All that shit. But anyway, I don't want to turn this into a fucking counseling session with you.
Nah, it's all good.
But I'm glad that you were able to find the root of why you're angry and why that shit hurt you so much. And it's important that you're breaking the chains for your daughter, so this generation grows up knowing that they don't have fathers like this. You know what I mean? Father. I'll be honest with you, and I don't even want to say no shots, because if you are this, then fuck you. Not meaning you, meaning people out there. I don't know how you could go to bed at night when you don't take care of your kid, when you don't even want to see your kid, when you don't even worry about your kid. I don't, I'm being super real on this shit. Like,
that's the word I use. It's disgusting.
If you take care of your kid, if you don't take care of your kids, and there's a lot of dudes that don't even see their kids. They're wearing Yeezys and man. Let me tell you something, man. If your kid's dirty and you're fresh, you fucked up. And if you're not in your kid's life and you fresh, I don't care what it is. Mother, there's something wrong with a mother. There's a way you could get in touch with you. You know what I mean? There's a way you could try to find out later on as they grow up. But whatever.
Absolutely. I'm going to just say one more thing on that, because it's crazy. And what definitely solidified my, because I feel it's my duty, you know what I'm saying, to just push, fatherhood. And, because I know we out there and it's like we just don't get enough credit. So it's not cool. Like, it's not cool to be a dad. Like, I done broke that shit. I've knocked that wall down 10 times. And to the point that, like, I'll be in the street sometimes. They'll be like, yo, Ted. And it'd be like an aggressive. And I'm like, wait a minute, this guy like coming to say what's up? And it don't be nothing about no music. Yo, man, I'm cooling with my son now because I see how you are with your daughter. That's nuts. Like, that shit, like, really, like, I get goose pimples. And it happens way more often than anything else. So it's like, I know I'm doing my duty, and that's why I go that hard with just, making sure that I put up my moments. You dig what I'm saying? Because I know people are watching, and I know that I have a power. Like, I have a platform, and people, they just really appreciate that, and I get thanks like every day. Sure. Like, genuine, and this is what it is.
And continue doing that. As fellow fathers, we need to uplift each other and continue to promote that type of stuff, because I say this all the time. Even though you do your job as a father and I'm doing my job as a father.
And I commend you too. I was going to wait for you to finish a sentence, but
okay. Yeah,
I commend you too, man. Baby Premium, we was talking about that before the mics cut on. Like, that's what it's about for me, man.
Yeah. No, and I thank you for that. But, I think that even though we both do our best of our ability to love our kids and show them that and be in their lives, there's a lot of people who aren't. And I feel like the word dad is still bruised and battered, meaning because there's so many deadbeat dads. So even though, like you say, like, you feel it's your job, like me too, I feel like it's my job to uplift that name,
Absolutely.
even though I'm doing, like, I'm not one of those guys like, I'm doing what I'm doing. Who gives a fuck? Nah. I want to make that name even better as much as I can,
Yeah. I mean, on my Instagram bio, it says professional dad. Like, that's like a job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's that serious. But
who are some other father figures that you have had, like, in life that you have seen that you were able to move?
Father figures. One of my best friends, George, G48. He's awesome dad. Who else? I'm blanking out right now, but there's my boy Sweet Music, dad. Like, there's so many a lot of dudes in my crew. My Lil Rob, do it like Diddy, dad. Like, and and these are guys that not the relationship didn't really go too well with their daughter's mother, and they just still they're still involved. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's about, man. You got to make your effort.
At the end of the day, anybody who is in a relationship or separated or divorced, or we always speak about this on this show, but find the kids that all the kid is all that matters. So for instance, if you're having a hard time with the mother or vice versa, don't use that kid against them. If they want, you know what I mean? Like this, like I give this example all the time, and I'll give a quick example, but when I got divorced, my daughter was 2 years old when she got divorced. She's 17 now. When we got divorced, I remember her mother was calling me and was like, "Hey, you want to watch her on Tuesday? I got to go out on a date." And I say this, and at first I was like, "Get the fuck out of here! You want to go on a date to get fucked? And you want me to watch the kid?" Right. That's how I felt. And then I hung up on her. I called her back like 3 minutes later. I was like, no, I'll be there. Because I felt like, who gives a fuck about her?
More time for you.
No disrespect to her, but who gives a fuck about her? It's the kid who would suffer. So, I feel like there's a lot of relationships that go through that type of shit.
Horrible.
Like she's out dating. Who gives a fuck what she's doing? As long as your kid's okay, go be in your kid's life. But I don't want to turn this into a fucking parenting thing again. Let's go, with remixes, right? Do people do people even do you get paid from remixes? Can you get I guess credits? I seen a plaque. Didn't you do a remix with a plaque for Justin Bieber or something?
No.
How does that work? Tell me.
Okay, well, as far as the remixes go, you can get paid for remixes. And for instance, Love on Top, right? When I did Love on Top for Beyoncé,
yes,
right? She didn't ask me to do it. Like, I went and I figured out, boom, I got a cappella, and I did it, and I just got it so crazy that, they got wind of it, and it was like, yo, like, this got to be official. So they reached out to me. I had a meeting, and sent it to her. She approved it, loved it, signed off on it, and they was like, how much you want? It was to that point. Like, it was like, just how much you want, and I was like, I want that, and they was like, okay. So, and then there are some remixes that a label won't necessarily pay you, right? But that doesn't mean that you can't generate money from it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I've done it so much at such a high level and a consistent level that, I can tell you, nah, I just did a favor for Busta. But meanwhile, I got to, it really doesn't matter whether anybody knows if I got paid or not. Yeah. So I kind of keep it like that.
It also adds to your to your catalog. You know what I mean?
Right.
And as you burn a club down, it also adds to your catalog and what you have. And
I'm gunning it down with my own shit.
Yeah. I mean, I always say this, like somebody like Just Blaze. When you really think about it. And just what a talented genius producer he is.
Crazy.
You know what's awesome about Just? And I always say this, and this is fucking crazy when you think about it. This guy DJs his own production. He could DJ his own production and blow the fucking club out. Yeah, it's crazy. Play every one of his songs for an hour set, just say. And that's it. You know what I mean? You think about it. He don't have to play anybody else's music.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy because I really... Sometimes I go on night and I don't even play none of my remixes. Like, I don't really use it as a crutch. You know what I'm saying? But there's been a few nights that the fans just be like, yo, like, no, we need to, yo. And I'm like, all right. And then rip off an hour light, and doesn't affect the party. Like it's, straight just banger after banger after banger. So it's a little different because, it's just different records.
Sure.
And you brought up a Just Blaze, right? So Just Blaze, he's playing records he produced. So I have records that I produced as well that a lot of people don't even know I fucking produced them. So we're probably gonna touch on that too.
No, let's get right to it. So this, again, make your point.
Right. So my point is that my job is to make a hit record better, which is twice as hard. That's like the hardest thing to do. Like Love on Top was already a hit record.
Sure.
Blame It for Jamie Foxx. That was already a hit record.
Yeah.
Adorn for Miguel was already a hit record. How do you make a hit record better?
Yeah.
So that's my challenge, and I take that challenge on all the time, and I've been able to consistently do that.
I will say
crazy.
This. I will say this, and I'm not saying this because you're here. I'm a very honest person. Beyonce's Love on Top, the remix by you, to me is better than the original. It gives me more, movement, so to speak. I mean, she's amazing. All hail to King.
She uses it at her shows.
Yeah,
she does a rendition of it. Yeah, so it's weird because it's technically a remix, but when you break down what I really do, I really produce. It's like a record. It's like its own record. I really produce these records because I'm adding drums and doing all this shit, and so it's its own record. And it's like, had this conversation the other day. People always tag me at weddings, like, yo, it's like, no shade at Jermaine Dupri's Let's Get Married, the Jagged Edge record.
Sure.
Like Love on Top it's replaced that. It's just like it's the wedding song now.
Yeah,
you dig what I'm saying? So that's, I mean, for a record to do that, it has to be a classic. You know what I'm saying? So now, it really is crazy.
Now, Diddy has been known to say, if you don't have a Ted Smooth remix to extend the life of your single, it's going to die.
You're going to die.
Well,
he meant that.
Okay.
Well,
what did you ever talk to him about him saying that?
Oh, man. So the way that happened was I called Puff to get on the remix that I did. I think it was an Usher remix or whatever. And around that time, he was coming to Harlem a lot. Mm-hmm. So I seen him around, and I was like, "Yo, like you need to jump on something." He's like, "Yo, matter of fact, I did something with Dirty Money, a new Biggie joint, and I want you to come here. It's called Angels." So I was like, "All right, cool." So I go in the studio. I don't know if you ever been to the studio with Puff. He's like fucking dramatic. Like, yeah, no, if he playing your record, he like calls in the people. They didn't turn the lights off. He puts the disco light on. Like
I heard if he likes something. This is what I heard from multiple people. If he likes something, he turns it all the way to fuck up, like max volume,
and just starts dancing.
Yeah, and it just
starts going crazy. So I got to see Angels, and he showed me the video. And that video was fucking amazing. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, yo, well, I got this. What I did, and he's like, I can't get on that because my next single got the same artist on it, whatever. And I was like, damn, like, fuck, man. I was bummed out. I was like, all right, well, let me hear what you got. Right? So he plays the video, and the shit is amazing. And they used the Where I'm From beat. So it kind of already sounded like a remix that I would have done, right? So I'm rocking to him, like, this shit is dope. And at the same time, I'm like, all right, I already know what I'm going to do. I already know how I'm going to flip it. So he turns over, he's like, what you think? And I'm like, yo, this shit is dope. I said, he was like, yo, I'm going to give it a cappella, so, do what you do. So I was like, all right. I was like, yeah, I'll be back in a couple of days. He was like, yeah, all right, Playboy, he talked. And I was like, I'm telling you, I already got it in my head. Sure enough, 2 days later, not even 48 hours, 30-something, 36 hours, I called him back, and I'm like, yo, turn them lights on. I said, turn them fucking disco lights on. He was like, get out of there. I'm like, yeah, I'm on my way. I go there, boom. I get there. Sure enough, he turns the lights off, whatever. I play the joint, and he just started moving the shoulders. You know what I'm saying? He started moving the shoulders, and then whatever, he's dancing around. And I remember Dawn, the girl from
Down the
yeah, right. From there, she like peeked in through the window and was like, "What the fuck is that?" She walked in, she starts dancing. So I was like, I already know, like he liked it or whatever. So then after that, we sitting there, we chopping it up. He ordering some food, and remember when the little flip Mino. The little flip Mino recorder thing, that's when that was out. So I was like, yo, if you don't mind, just give me a drop. Like, he was just supposed to be like, yo, what's up, Ted Smooth, whatever. That's what he was supposed to do. So he was like, all right, cool. Boom, I start recording. He's like, yo, what up? And then I posted a video. If you probably go on YouTube, you can find it. So I start recording, and he just starts talking. And as he's talking, like my rate is going up. He's like, yo, I passed the remix baton, and my man Ted Smooth, Diddy was considered the remix king or whatever. So he passed it to me, right? So my money went up. And then he goes, if you don't have a Ted Smooth remix to extend the life of your single, you're gonna die. You're just gonna die. And I was like, did you just fucking say that? And he just kept going on, and it was like the crown right there, bang. And I was like, wow. So that's amazing. Coming from him, like, mind you, he's my friend, but that's Puff. Sure. And at the time, it was him and Jermaine. Yeah, they were just like the remix. They was doing their thing.
And even if you go back before that, Pete Rock,
right.
Clark Kent, right, people who made so many remixes,
dope remixes.
Now even like, how did you even get into remixing? Meaning, like, who inspired you to even do that? What made you want to be a remixer? I mean, you could just been a DJ. Now all of a sudden you remixing stuff.
Well, it works hand in hand because I'm from the golden era of the mixtape, right? The late 80s, where we would do blends, right? So the way that worked is at the beginning of your tape, you either did an intro with like just a bunch of records or whatever you wanted to do, or you did a blend to start your tape off. And whoever had the best blend, at that period of time, that was the tape that sold the most because people would buy it just for the beginning. So what I do now is kind of the same thing we was doing then. We was taking acapellas, putting different beats on it. You know what I'm saying? It's just the term has changed. Like, all I'm doing is, in my mind, I'm just doing blends, but now I'm adding drums. The technology has helped us to really make these records sound like records as opposed to just one acapella, one instrumental, and you just rock that for 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same concept. So I didn't get really influenced from nobody. It was just like, that was what we was doing when the mixtapes came out. You feel me? So that's basically what I'm doing, but it's just on steroids because I go all the way. Like, I mix it, I get it mastered. You know what I mean? Sure. Like, so it could sound just like the record I played before. Like, if I'm playing a Drake record and I play my remix after that, sonically, it's gonna sound just as good. Shout to my engineer Choco. Greatest.
Shout to Choco. Yes,
he deserves all praise due.
You mentioned before that people may not have known that you've done some production.
Right.
What production have you done?
I'll tell you a funny story. Just the other day, my sisters was here from Florida, and they did an Airbnb in Harlem, and we all there. Jesse's there, and Jesse's my fiancé, by the way. For those who don't. Jessie Cotto.
We'll bring Jessie Cotto on a little bit to talk about some Dominican Puerto Rican shit.
Right. So we're there, and where my sisters, they lived in Florida for years, but they're from East Harlem. Mm-hmm. So all they want to do is eat. They want to find rib tips, Chinese food. They want acapulco. They want to eat all that shit. So they're like, yo, where can we get some cookies at? Right. So I was like, yo, Insomnia Cookies. They have cut premium check for the shout out. So Insomnia Cookies, they deliver to 3 a.m. to 1 a.m. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's call it. We right there in Harlem. I call, and the call center is in Philadelphia, right? So I'm trying to order the cookies, and they're like, yo, well, we can't deliver to 126th Street. We can only go to 122nd Street. And I'm like, come on. I said, my nigga, like, come on. Like, okay, you know what? Send the delivery guy to 121st. Then tell him to call me. I'll give him an extra $10. And then he's like, no, we just can't do it. So, me, I'm trying to convince this guy that's from Philly that he should do me the favor and just put the order in. So I'm like, listen, man, you know what? If I produce one of your favorite records, one of your favorite classic records from Philly, would you send me the cookies? He was like, yeah. And I'm like, I produce Ring the Alarm, Petey Crack, Emilio Sparks, and Freeway. I'm like, that's my record. Like, send them motherfucking cookies. And he starts laughing. He was like, what's your name? And I was like, Ted Smooth. And he was like, I can't do it. I was like, yo, you gonna play me like that? I said, okay, as a matter of fact, I did Gangsta Fuck too. So those are two big records that, at the time were big, with Petey Crack and those guys. And I was like, yo, man, those are classics, bro. And try to convince him, and he wasn't having it. So
sure.
Ring the Alarm. That record, that's a Rumba classic from back in the days. Lumi D, produced that record, co-wrote on that record. The infamous No Music.
Yeah.
No music that like every teacher hates me to this day because the kids don't want to do nothing but do that shit in recess and dance all fucking for the all hour they're out there. What else? I'm blanking out over here. But I mean, those are just, 3 classic records.
Hey, there's more than a couple of 3, even
right.
With Lumi D was very big.
Yeah, that was huge record. It's classic. I named 3 classics.
I remember that shit. It was like,
yeah, it was just unstoppable.
I remember
record.
when 50 did did a remix on that, right? Or feature?
Cypher Sounds found a old 50 verse from like a record that never did nothing, and it kind of matched, and he put
really?
He put it on. Yeah, Cypher did that. Cypher's like the bootleg master. That nigga just be like,
let me tell you something. 50 came in on that track. I remember he was like, she's something like a porno star. Like,
right,
I was like,
sense.
yo, this dude is killing it.
50 knew about it though. Like he performed and stuff. We did a few shows with him. But yeah, so yeah, a lot of people don't know, that I did those records because it was before Tess moved Straight Face. You remember? Yeah. So you had to just be there. You know what I'm saying? Like
now, do you want to continue to produce? Are you still wanting to?
No,
produce?
absolutely. I did In the Air for Vado.
Okay.
Over the Phil Collins.
Yep.
Classic.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I my album, everybody's just dying for me to make these albums. Obviously I got relationships with Jada, Swiss, all these guys.
Sure.
And they're like, yo, like, whenever you're ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, it's just the timing, man. The timing has just not, when you get on I'm doing air quotes, album mode, like that's, you got to be in a certain thing. And I'm close to like, the problem is that when I do records, let's say a Styles P, like I do a record with him, supposedly for me, and he's like, yo, I need that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get to keep none of the records that I do.
Sure.
So I just got to be a little more.
Yeah, sure. You just got to have more of a set out goal of like, yo, I'm going to be doing 12 tracks for this album, and this one's mine.
I got to.
I mean, listen, DJ Khaled, I feel like opened the door even more for DJs to just show how much room there is to be successful and make money.
No, that's great, because what Khaled is doing is exactly what I would do, like with my relationships and just me. I'm a producer. Like I actually hit the pads. Like I mean, now not as much because I don't really use the MPC no more. But I'm a real producer. And at the end of the day, like I get involved with the writing. I get involved with structuring the record, with what feature to get. Like everything that Khaled. That's why I'm like so excited. I mean, not only is Khaled my man, but it's like, what, great that he's doing that, because when I come, it's not gonna be foreign to anybody.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how some dudes will look at Khaled like, and hate on him. Like, no, nigga, he opening the doors for us to do these kind of albums again. So it's definitely still producing, still remixing, still doing parties, still DJing bar mitzvahs, like whatever the check is for.
L'chaim.
I'm killing it.
Listen, let me tell you something. Funk Flex said, I don't know another DJ that can destroy a Latin club one night and the next night body a hip-hop club. His range is crazy. Now, for people who don't know, you're Dominican.
Yes.
Okay, very Spanish.
Yeah, 100%.
100%
De
Spanish.
Santiago, coño.
What the fuck? I don't even know what you said. But
I just shouted where I'm from in DR,
okay,
and
no
then
problem.
half a curse word.
Respect it, Don't be a manicon. You know what I mean? Not to be confused with a manigot.
Right.
Which is Italian. When I say really Spanish, I do want to say this. You're working on something called Behind the Speaker. It's where you sit down with different artists, different DJs. I was there your first night.
So excited about this
It's
shit.
not coming out yet. It may be out yet. I don't know. The internets will know. But the point I'm trying to make is this. It was with DJ Camilo, the first guest, the inaugural guest. I was there in the building, and I want to say this. What I experienced was so much love in that building, but more importantly, so much Spanish love. And what I mean by that is, your fiancé, Jessie Cotto,
yes,
was crying. was talking about how proud she is of you. No, this shit really
shit.
This shit was powerful to me. Like, she got up there and told everybody, yo, he's been working and grinding, and I'm so proud of him, and everyone should want a girl like that. I'm sure she's crazy and she probably drives you fucking nuts, but I'm telling you right now, that shit was beautiful. The way she was crying, literally crying of how happy she was for you.
Yes.
What's this guy's name who does the global spin?
Sean Perez.
Talking about, I love you. I heard him like, yo, Ted, I'm so proud of you. I love you. You know, the reason why I say Spanish love is there's a lot of Spanish people in the building.
Right.
You're obviously, you know, Dominican.
Right.
But what I mean is, like, I feel like there was just so much, like, that brotherly Spanish love. If someone Spanish or around Spanish could understand what I mean, it's like kind of like Italians, where like, you know, that Italian love, or, you know, just that.
It's different. It's different.
It felt like a Spanish family barbecue love. Like, you know, you want some more rice and gondola. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Well, I mean, the you know, I mean, we had, you know, kids, you know, college kids there.
Sure. We
had just a very array of different people, but everybody, whether they was family or friends or just people, they were just excited that I was actually doing this, because whoever knew about it when I was talking about the idea, they were just excited for me, and then whoever came, they felt privileged to be there.
Sure.
You dig what I'm saying? So the funny thing is that you know, the lights was they were kind of in my face, so I didn't know. The only person I could see was like the front row, maybe a little bit of second. I didn't know nobody was there. In my mind, I'm like, damn, Pete ain't show up. Like, I like people to show up. And after, you know, we cut the film, it was just so gratifying to see like everybody that was there, like Nick Storm, like, you know, Gungi, like it was crazy. And I was just telling my man earlier, but like it felt like I had a kid. Like I was like so relieved, you know what I'm saying, that we actually filmed it, did it, is in the can, and now we know what it's going to take to do it like that.
Sure.
So the premise of the show is,
well, first of all, it's called Behind the Speaker.
Behind the Speaker.
Okay. It's Ted Smooth,
right,
sitting down, live, interviewing different people within the music industry.
Right.
Particularly starting off with a lot of DJs.
Right, yeah. So it's basically anything that resonates through a speaker, right? So it can be an artist, a producer, a music exec, anything that comes to a speaker some way, somehow, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to have a conversation. Sure. Like I'm a very curious guy, so I'm gonna ask just the shit I want to know. Candid. Sure. It's gonna be funny. Like there's a sneaker battle. Like before the interview starts, we gotta have a sneaker battle. Okay. Camilo didn't know that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So obviously now, you know, Clark Kent and Jazzy Joyce, they're probably gonna notice now when they hear the episode. But it's funny stuff. Like I prank my artists. Like I had my guy come to Hane 7 and tow Camilo's Porsche. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm pulling pranks on people. I'm just making it fun, and it's all about my personality, and it's gonna live as a TV show. But at the same time, the audio will be a podcast. So I'm shooting a shotgun. I'm shooting one time, and it's gonna live in different forms of media. Sure. So that's what makes it different, and that's what makes it special, in my opinion. And people get it. They're like, "Yo, you onto some shit."
No, you listen. I wish you all the best. Behind the Speaker, Internets. Listen, either it'll be out when this episode drops. Either there'll be some content out, or maybe there won't. But Behind the Speaker by Ted Smooth, I think is going to be a dope project.
Get ready, man.
That really just shows people within involved the industry doing things. You know, let's get back to Funk Flex for a second.
Yeah,
he's the one who said that. Look. You know, he could burn down a fucking Latin club and then a hip-hop club the next night. Flex, now, for people who are not from New York, Flex plays a lot of your remixes on.
Yeah.
He'll run them back, put a bomb on them like he does. Has supported you over here. What does Funk Flex mean to you?
Well, Funk Flex is very inspiring to me because you got to understand, quick story, me and Flex met on not so good terms.
Really?
And I had to remind him this the other day because he's going to sit on that chair across from me on Behind the Speaker eventually. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yo, like, you don't remember? So when I started telling him the story, he was like, oh, shit. Like, I remember, but I didn't know that it was you. You dig what I'm saying? So.
Well, what are you talking about?
Well, basically, back when in 93, there was a club in New York City called Home Base. I don't know if you remember the club. Yep. It was a huge club, and they was popping. The owner of that club, his name was Marvin Ginsburg, little Jewish guy with little big glasses. And at the time, I was doing Quasimodo's on Monday nights at this bar on the east side on 92nd and 2nd. So Quasimodo's was basically a small little bar, and there was nothing else happening on Monday nights in New York City but China Club. And we couldn't get to that because that was just like, you know, bougie for the, you know, white actors and shit like that. So we started our own fucking party. And 3 weeks later, we got 600 people there. Everybody that's where I met Nice and Smooth. That's where I met all the people. So the party was crazy. And at the end of one of the nights, this little Jewish guy comes in. He's like, hey, you want a DJ at home base? And I had heard about it, but I didn't know who he was. And I was like, yeah, why not? So he was like, I need you to play reggae. And I was like, yeah, I'm damn near Jamaican. Like, what's up? He was like, well, the upstairs room, we got to get people up there, whatever. I work out somewhere and I start doing home base on Fridays. Flex was doing the downstairs Friday and Saturday. They had Naughty by Nature. They had all the groups there was popping. In about 2 weeks, I probably had like 500, 600 people upstairs in the reggae room. And Jessie Cotto, I didn't know that she was there, but she was there because her uncle ran security for years. So she was like, yeah, I remember it. I used to go to that shit. So 3 weeks into that, Marvin Ginsburg goes, hey, you want to do the main room one night? And I'm like, yeah, like, why not? It's the fucking biggest night. So I'm all excited. I'm telling people. 2 days later, he goes, nah, I don't think I'm going to have you there because Flex says if he can't do both nights down there, he's not doing no nights.
Really?
So he did a boss move, right? But I'm 21 years old, 20 years old. I'm like, yo, fuck that nigga. Like, he the fucking hater. Like, wow, that's how I saw it. But it was just straight business. So I remembered that. And never approached him, whatever, but I was just bad-mouthing him everywhere I went. So then now I'm doing a Saturday night, like 6 months after that, I'm doing a Saturday night at this place called Stingrays on 51st and 12th. Now, we got the poppin' night. My promoter, Adam Torres, he's like, yo, who you want to get to guest DJ? I'm like, get Flex. I said, book him. Why? Because at the time I did the Remember the Time remix, the Michael Jackson remix with like 12 different beats, which was the first time there was a blend with that many beats coming back and forth. This is a classic remix, classic blend rather. And I knew that he was looking for it because at Downtown Records, Dante, that he ran Downtown Records, he wanted to press a bootleg of it. And I got wind of it and I'm like, yo, Dante, if you press that shit, I'm fucking you up. You're going to have a problem. So he was like, nah, man, because Flex keep asking me. Everybody's asking me. I like, well, Flex likes it. So I set him up. So he came to do his guest spot. I let him do his guest spot. He didn't know it was me. By the time he finished, he got to the front door. I played the fucking remix. He turned around like, this motherfucker. Like, it's him. And it all brought it back to, by the time he got to me, he was like, yo, man, listen, that thing over there wasn't personal. So that's how we met. You know what I'm saying? So Flex is inspiring for me because he knows how to do radio. You know what I'm saying? He's a personality. And I've always felt like, yo, I'm a personality. I can do that. So, which inspired me to take on Behind the Speaker. Like, that's a whole different hat that I'm wearing at the end of the day.
No, most definitely.
And Flex broke records.
Sure.
Flex, like, he just became part of the party. And I've always wanted to be part of the party. Like, you're not going to stick me in the corner, when a little fucking... No, I'm going to be in the middle of the fucking party on stage with lights on and I'm going to be a part of the situation.
How much does it mean to you, hearing him play all your records like that? Really just, support it and give it spins and spins and spins.
Well, not only Flex. I mean, like I said, I'm a humbly say, man, like, there's not, and I've been all over the world and I've opened up laptops in Japan and Belgium, everywhere. There's no laptop that doesn't have a Chess Move folder in it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that shit is humbling. When I think about that, every time I get on my little flash, I think about that and it brings me back to earth because that's very humbling that I get all this support from DJs all over the world. But Flex in particular, I know it's not a favor. Like, he don't like all my remixes. He likes the ones he likes. He does like. So I know that's genuine. That's something that Camilo touched on in an interview. He was like, yo, like, when I'm playing it, it's because I like it. Not because I like you. I'm doing you a favor. So from Mr. C to all the DJs, even some of the DJs that hate on me, that talk over my drop, is like, that's amazing. You don't like me. You're talking over my drop and you still playing my remix. So I take it all in stride, and I appreciate all the support because you could be playing another record, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I come from the school of, if I'm from a different block, I'm not playing that nigga shit. As dope as it may be, just because we're not from the same block, I'm not gonna play it.
Sure.
So to get the love like that's special, and I know that when he does a movie, Flex's favorite remix is, one of them actually is French Montana, Shot Caller.
Okay.
I used the Public Enemy number one, that beat. That's also Redditor's favorite too. Flex played that shit. I was on Hunt 16, so I just finished seeing my daughter. I was hungry. I wanted to go to Cat's Deli. It took me 47 minutes to get there. He played that shit from the entire ride. Bomb, bringing it back, because he loved break beats. That's the most I've ever heard a DJ play one of my remixes, like, simultaneously. Nuts. So I just love it, man. It's humbling. It's humbling to get that support.
Flex is, I'll tell you one thing. People can say what they want about Flex. But when he believes in something,
oh, man,
that motherfucker, man, he is so passionate about what he's doing, man. I'll tell you, listen, I've always appreciated Flex for that. You know, most
he's
definitely.
real. He's
1,000%
real.
real. Sometimes I hear your remixes through him before anybody.
Right.
You know?
I mean, it's you know, like I said, man, some people, I try to, because I got to be politically correct, right? Because there's so many DJs. So
sure,
you got, you know, you have Camilo, right? New at 2.
Yep.
You got DJ Enough.
Yep.
All these DJs, and you got different regions. So sometimes I got to be like, okay, well, I'm going to give Flex this one. I'll send it to him before everybody, let him rock with it for a week. Then, you know, another one, I'll give it to Camilo first.
Sure.
I'll give it to this guy first, you know, whatever. So I got to work it around. You dig what I'm saying? But, you know, Cypher Sounds, they accuse him of taking payola. He fucking plays so many on remix. But I know it's genuine. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope, man. And I'm glad that my remixes they feel that they're a weapon. They feel that they're not losing any steam by playing one. It's actually upgrading what they're doing as a DJ.
Let me ask you, a lot of these remixes you have done, have any of these artists reach out to you? We spoke about Beyoncé.
Right. But
have anybody else like reach out and like, yo, that shit was dope what you did?
Nah, all the time. I mean, Styles P, they give me different nicknames. Styles P says, he was like, you don't miss. That's fucking crazy. For someone to tell somebody that they don't miss, like that just shows how consistent someone can actually, like, if you never miss. Mano calls me the resurrector, because he's like, yo, you be taking niggas that be cold as ice and resurrecting them, and they're on the fucking radio now and they're getting shows.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody reaches out, from Swiss to Busta to, you know, Matas Yahoo. You know what I'm saying? The list goes on and on, from, you know, record execs to, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I did No One for Alicia Keys, and you know, she was like, yo, I love it, but, you know, I didn't have access to the instrumental or the parts of the record, so I used just like a piece that I had. She was like, let me play the piano. I was like, shit, by all means. So she loved it that much that she wanted to actually play the pianos on the No One remix.
Yeah.
That's dope. You feel me? So they appreciate it, man. Artists appreciate it. And it's become a thing that it's like, they be like, yo, make sure that tag is on there. Like, that shit, that Ted Smooth straight face, you remember, like, that means, like, you're hot.
Sure.
That means, like, something's going on if he's remixing your record. And it resonates from DJs to the artists to the record labels.
That's important.
It's crazy.
It's important. Listen, we're going to go on a break.
Yes,
okay?
sir.
What I want you guys to do is go to YouTube or go to SoundCloud. I mean, are you on SoundCloud?
Not on SoundCloud.
Go to YouTube. Check Ted Smooth remixes. Check some of them out. Let us know what you think. Add us on Twitter or
yes,
Instagram.
Sir.
Ted Smooth at Ted Smooth at Premium Pete Show. Let us know what you think, man. Like I said, there's a bunch of remixes on there by Ted Smooth.
Crazy.
I mean, I like them. I
appreciate that.
Listen, Internets, we're sitting here, we're talking about fatherhood. We're going to get into some Spanish shit. We're talking about producing, remixing, everything. Listen, get yourself some Kool-Aid. Get yourself a Twinkie.
Some coffee.
Cafe Bustelo. Okay? But Internets, don't go nowhere. You listen to the Premium P Show. My man, DJ Ted Smooth is in the building. Be right back. Cheer. Cheer.
Yes, you're rocking with the best. This is Just Blaze. Right now, you are checking out the Premium Pete Show. All right? What?
Internets, and we're back sitting here with my man, DJ Ted Smooth.
Yeah.
Straight face. Listen.
You remember.
Some great stories, man, and some really powerful parenting talk before. I'm gonna get you to calm down, though. I don't want you to punch anybody or fucking knock anything down. Calm the fuck down, Ted.
This is the no punching episode.
Let me ask you something. One thing I want to get into, and you have your fiancé here,
yeah.
Jessie. How do you say that? Say that, Jessie. Say hello to the internet.
Hi, internet.
Jessie what?
Jessie Cotto.
Cotto. Okay. See, you got to say it so fucking.
Cotto.
Now you're Puerto Rican, right?
I'm Puerto Rican.
And Ted is Dominican. Now, Ted, I want you to tell me. Now, you said that Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, I feel like, don't even like each other. But you're saying that doesn't matter.
That's a myth.
Why is it a myth?
Because there's not a Puerto Rican-Dominican beef.
Really?
There really isn't.
Okay, I'm going to tell you why. Growing up, if I seen a Dominican or a Puerto Rican that I know, and I said, say I didn't know they were Dominican, I'm like, yo, what are you, Puerto Rican? He's like, get the fuck out of here. You crazy? I'm
Right.
Dominican.
That's because you're prejudging them.
But I didn't know if he was. But what I'm saying is, they said it like it was a problem. You
No,
understand?
the problem is that you're prejudging them. They have a problem with you prejudging them. Not they have a problem with a Puerto Rican or Dominican.
They will.
Well, it
That's what I'm
depends on
saying?
the conversation. Yeah, if you said something or the way they act, like if they said something a certain way and you're like, oh, you must be Puerto Rican, then they'll be like, fuck you, I'm not.
So you don't think that people, like a Puerto Rican or a Dominican may say, like, say a Dominican says, nah, that's some Puerto Rican shit. We don't do that. You don't.
No, it's
never,
true.
You never said something like that?
No. We have those conversations all the time, but that don't mean it's a beef. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no beef.
I think
There's no beef.
Dominicans are really true to their culture. I'm not saying all Puerto Ricans aren't, but a lot of us have lost our language throughout the years, where Dominicans are still newer here, if I can say that, and they still speak their Spanish and they still have their culture. We're more Americanized now, so a lot
True
of
that.
Dominicans take offense when you say, "Oh, you're Puerto Rican," because they're like, "No, I still got my culture."
You know, like I was telling Jessie too earlier. Even like Asians, you think about it. Like, say if you say like, "Yo, what are you Chinese?" Because most people will say Chinese. Think about it.
I will too.
Most people would just, and I've had people tell me Chinese. I'm Korean.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, I don't know.
Again, but Japanese people don't fight with Chinese people because.
Well, Japanese people
just
don't like
because.
Chinese people, though. I worked for Japanese for a long time, and they look down on Chinese people.
Well, that's probably true, but not because they're Chinese.
Well, they looked at it like they were the upper class of the Asian group.
I get that.
Like like the Japanese I work for, they got their suits tailored, and if you tell them they were Chinese, they feel like, nah, we not like that.
They see Chinese as peasants.
Yes.
Right, I get it.
It's crazy, right?
I get it.
Wow.
Now let me ask you something, okay? Being that Ted's Dominican,
Right.
Jessie is Puerto Rican. I want you each, well, Ted first, what is the best Dominican dish for anybody that's looking to ever eat Dominican food?
It's the popular name is called Los Tres Golpes.
What
Los
the fuck?
Tres
Say
Golpes.
again.
That's like the 3 hits.
Okay.
Right? Like a golpe is when you get hit, so it's 3 hits. It's eggs, white cheese fried, and salchichon. It's like Dominican salami. Right? So Los Tres Golpes with mango. Mango is a green plantain when you boil it, and then you mash it up, and you put a little bit of salt, a little bit of whatever. I like to put a little bit of butter and mayonnaise to make it my own little taste.
Okay.
So on the mango with huevo, salami, queso, that should be in the middle of the flag. Like that's like
So anybody who wants to get a nice taste of Dominican food, they would order. How do you say that again?
mango con los tres golpes.
Okay. Internet, you may have to pause that and rewind it back to say to hear that again. But hey, listen, if you're interested in finding out about some Dominican food, try that out. Now, Jessie, on the Puerto Rican side, what would you say?
Definitely white rice and beans.
White rice and beans. That's so plain, man.
No, it
That's
is.
like fucking baked ziti. You know?
Acapurria.
What the fuck did you just say?
Yeah, I don't really know what's in there. Like there's a relleno de papa. It's a potato stuff with meat. That's really good.
Cuchifrito stuff.
Cuchifrito, yeah. Empanadas. It's
Empanadas are always good.
Yeah, that's really good. But it's really fattening. It's a lot of fried stuff.
I mean,
fried shit.
Listen, you don't ever see, listen, that type of food is a beautiful thing. You're not worried about that. There's always a diet for another day.
No, his favorite, he loves when I make him yellow rice with corn and, how you say, salchicha? Sausage inside of it. It's
Chorizo?
so good. Like
Chorizo.
chorizo inside of the rice. He loves that. And I'll like make him pork
now
chops.
you cook a lot?
I cook, yeah.
You're a good woman. Hey,
I
look
am.
at this. You cook, you support, you are interactive with him.
I
and,
rub my
and you
baby's
love him.
feet.
You rub his feet.
Yes.
Make love to him. Let me tell you
Yes.
something. You are a true Spanish woman.
She's a keeper.
She's the one that Diddy was talking about years ago. Mami, see, remember that song?
Mami, ven aquí.
Yeah.
Mami, ven aquí.
Yeah, definitely my partner, my soulmate. Yeah, she's awesome.
I brought you up before, Jessie. I brought you up because when I was at the Behind the Speaker event, like I said, see, I think a lot of people don't realize how important it is to have a woman, when you're with a woman, to have a woman by your side that understands the art and the lifestyle of the hustle. It's hard to be a creative, a freelancer. These type of jobs don't come with pensions, don't come with most health insurance, don't come with 401ks. But what they do come with is a high reward to live your life the way you want to, and make money to do what you love to do. And I think so many people don't ever really big up their soulmates and their people who are behind them. You know, a lot of the things that I do and been able to do, I wouldn't be able to do that without, you know, my lady low-key Nat. Just being supportive, just being there for me, just understanding that, you know, sometimes we're going to make a lot of money and sometimes we're not going to make a lot of money. And sometimes things are going to be tough and up and down. And it's important when you have a woman, you know, by your side. I just feel like you could go out and do your thing. You don't have to worry about all this other shit. And, you know, I applaud you for being somebody who's very supportive of a creative person.
Thank you.
You know, because I know this shit ain't easy, man. You know,
I wouldn't be I don't want to be anywhere else. We work really, really well together. We understand each other. And anything I can do for him, for his growth, I'm there.
Let me ask you, you have a sister?
I do.
Okay, shit. Hey, listen, if anything ever happens to me, I'm going after your fucking sister. I'm going to make her rub my feet. I'm going to make her fucking cook me. What did you say?
Arroz con gandules.
Whatever.
Oh, no, you said that. Yeah, she's a good girl. So.
No, it's important. It's important, you know, and it's always powerful, like I said, that helps fuel. Even for a woman, it's good to have a man behind her that supports her. Like my lady wants to do an errand line. And I told her I'll support her and we could work on it and the branding of it and doing it and I hope we could get this off the ground one day. But I want to support her. I want to show her, you know, that, you know, it's a team, man. I don't know, man. I can't stress how important it is to have someone by your side.
Let me just add something to that, Pete. Like, what makes us interesting is that we do the same thing for each other. Like, a lot of people don't know. They're getting to find out now through Instagram and social media that, you know, she's an actress, like a real actress.
Yes.
Like, she does films. Like,
now, where can they find you on Instagram? At Jessie?
The Jessie Cotto Project.
Okay, Jessie.
Jessie Cotto, JESSIE .project, PROJECT.
Now you do, what were you saying?
So she's an actress. She's does a lot of things, and part of our journey and part of my mission was to give her that confidence to be like, listen, like you go for it. Like, I got your back. Don't worry about it. If you need a babysitter, if you got to go do a screening or whatever, like, go do it. I got you. And it took a few years for me to like rebuild her back up to have that confidence to be like, you know what, like I'm gonna start doing my poetry every Wednesday night. You know, we call it Jessie's Thread. Like, very powerful shit. Like, she has a fan base. Like, it's crazy. And, you know, as you know, the he says, she says thing that we do in the morning, it's like our therapy. Like, that shit people are calling for a show and it's nuts. Like, it's just taking off and it's just what we do in the morning. And it's so generic and so organic, rather, that people just love it. They're like, yo, like, we go through the same shit. And it's just become its own thing, man.
First of all, I love the he said, she said. I think it's funny. You guys arguing.
We love
you. I seen one of them where the toothpaste was finished and he had to cut the fucking toothpaste.
Cut it.
It's hard. It's hard living with someone. But you know, I want to say, what if you could give some advice of what it takes to really work in a relationship to people who are trying, because I know it's not easy. You know, what are some of the, you know, advice that you would give people who are in relationships to stay successful in a relationship and stay level-headed, so to speak, you know?
I would say listen to your partner and try not to judge their actions because you've never walked in their shoes and you don't know why they are the way they are. But definitely listen to them and be patient and just be as open as you can and show them who you really are. That, for me, that's how I was able to be successful with Ted. I was able to open up who I was and show him who I was and just get naked, completely naked in front of him, and he accepted me.
Spanish shit.
Right.
Yeah. He accepted everything in its entirety. He accepted me, and I'm here. So I listen to him, he listens to me, and I'm just naked.
You know, it's important, too, because it's funny. Like, sometimes I feel like a lot of us, particularly me, and I hate to admit it, but... you know, sometimes we're in our phones so much, you know, I always get you don't listen. You know, you don't listen to me. And sometimes I guess, you know, I'm learning to put the phone down and really listen, because I think when you give a woman your undivided attention, you ultimately, you know, gain their undivided respect.
So that's my gem of the night will be that.
Yeah.
Right on.
So
Yeah, but it's true.
but so I need to start doing that more often, to be honest with you, man.
Listen, like I say, it's communication. That's like one of my favorite words, and I try to spread that word to everybody, because I've seen like real, like, niggas about to shoot each other beef, and it'd be like, communication. It's just a communication issue, and it gets settled. So it's like anything could be settled or understood with communication, man. I'm so big on that.
Yeah,
for real.
When I was younger, I always used to be hot boxy and think that it should just pop the fuck off.
Absolutely.
But I've learned, it takes a skill to diffuse shit, man. And to be honest with you, in this day and age, man, you don't want to waste your life for somebody else's.
Absolutely not.
You know what I mean? Like, somebody wants to argue over a parking spot or some shit. Next thing you know, like, even like I'll never forget when I was away, there was a guy that you would never picture to be away. Some simple-minded white guy that didn't look crazy. At least to me, he didn't. Simple guy. I was playing chess one day. I came out of playing chess, and I bumped into him. I said, "What's up?" And I said, "How you doing, bud?" We started talking. "Oh, you're in this dorm, I said, this is the biggest question in jail, but, what are you in here for?
Right.
And he wound up sitting down. We're sitting down, and he wound up telling me that he killed his wife's boyfriend. That what happened was he came home from one day. I think he was a post office guy. He worked for 20-something years in the post office. And he came home one day early from work, and he heard screaming. And it wasn't screaming or yelling. It was sexual screaming. And he walked in, and some guy was having sex with his wife. And what he immediately did was took his shotgun and killed the guy. But he explained to me, and there's something I learned so much from him in there, is that he said, look, she's fucking somebody else now. So what did I really do? I fucked myself.
Nothing.
He's 25 years to life. And I guess what I'm trying to say is, if I know it hurts and it's not easy if someone cheats on you. I've had that happen. But to be honest with you, to throw your life away for somebody else who is obviously just, doing you wrong, it's crazy, because when you think about it, I mean, I just said it, but think about that shit. Like, you are upset, so you kill the guy that was fucking her, and meanwhile she lives out there and fucks somebody else.
You can't care about someone that doesn't care.
It's an impulse, though.
Bottom line, that's it.
Yeah,
Once a person doesn't care, that's it.
Yeah.
You don't care either, and that's it, because it's never going to matter what you do.
Yeah. Don't care about people who don't care about you.
Period.
There you go. Listen, let's get back to well, Jessie, thank you so much for joining us in this Spanish segment, love segment. And do you ever use iPoppy? Do you ever use that word?
No.
Okay.
Not even joking around.
Why did I just have to look at you like, do I?
No.
She's like, do I? No.
No, Poppy. No, nothing.
Now, what about the I feel like a lot of Spanish women call like their men daddy and stuff like that. No?
No.
Okay. Maybe these were years ago.
Babe, yeah.
Okay.
She'd be like, babe.
Well, listen, Jessie, internet, check for Jessie Cotto. She's a great woman doing some dope shit. I love your poetry. I love the he said, she said. And more importantly, I applaud you for just being a supportive woman and really just believing.
And a great mom.
A great
Avery's mom.
Right.
Shouts
to Avery. Avery, good young kid. Growing up, I met him 12 years old. Dude acting like he was 22 with a briefcase, heading down to Wall Street to go fucking,
crazy.
Do some merger. No. Listen, I salute you.
Thank you.
I salute you, and I love the way you love Ted. I think it's powerful, and it really made me like, yo. I love my lady, but like, damn, I'm like, yo, everyone needs someone to love someone like that. Like, yo, you were at this event crying about how happy you are for this dude. So anyway, I applaud you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, but Ted, let's get back to Ted. And so listen, Ted, we went over the remixes. We went over Funk Flex. We went over some of your productions. We went over your pops. What I do want to go over is somebody like Cool DJ Red Alert.
The bum.
Somebody who I feel like is obviously one of the forefathers of this shit. Someone that's very important to hip hop. How did you form a relationship with him?
Well, Red Alert, I think, is his mother. He has a relative that lived in Wagner Projects, right next to my building. So I would always see Red, come, and then mind you, this is, when Red Alert was Red Alert. You know what I'm saying? In his heyday, and even before that. And he had that red afro, that red hair. And he was just cool. Like, he was just super cool. and I met Red Alert. There was a place, shout to Grandma Funk and Koi Soldier. They're the two sisters that did this legendary party called the Funk Hut. And around 1994, it was at the Big City Diner on 43rd and 10th Avenue or 11th Avenue.
Bro, I love how vivid your memory is.
Yeah. So they did a legendary party event, and that was a lot of people was actually like what name some things that were like game changers for you as a DJ. At the time, I already had the East Side on lock with the mixtapes and the clubs, but the industry they heard my stuff, they liked my music, but they thought I was black. Everybody thought I was black. They didn't know that I was Dominican because they heard my voice and they're like, okay, whatever. So when I got to do this party, it was like the whole industry. It was just on a Tuesday night, $5 to get in, and everybody was there, from like Bobby Brown to Christopher Williams to Tribe Called Quest to like everybody. And man, when I tell you, that's where I met not only the industry, that's where I met Red Alert. He signed my the DJ mats are when you put attention to it, the stand. Yep. It was like a stand. The company stand made the blue one. That was like the stand.
Too.
So he signed my mat. He came in the booth. He was like, "Yo, like, what's your name? Like, who are you? Because I was super skinny. I used to take my shirt off. It used to be hot." And I met him. I met Kid Capri there. Crazy story how I met him. I met just the entire industry there, and so that's kind of made me like, okay, I've arrived. Like, I'm doing the street shit, I'm doing the mixtape shit, and the industry fucks with me. So, I mean, shout out to that whole situation. And Red Alert, ever since then, just like always friended me, just became my friend. And he just was at the Old School Jam 3 days ago, 4 days ago, on 125th of Park Avenue, and I played the cha-cha slide, right, to get everybody involved, and he leans over to me, he goes, "Yo, if you play the wobble, I'ma set it off." Guess what record I played next?
The wobble.
And he set it off. So the chances of Red Alert coming to your jam and going on in the middle of the street, basically, and starting the wobble, come on, that's family.
Yeah.
I can't say nothing. I can't say nothing. No one can say nothing about Red Alert.
Yeah.
He's the god.
Sure.
Facts.
Being a DJ, and I want you to describe the feeling when you have a crowd of like hundreds, or having a crowd of thousands, and you're killing it, like, in a zone, being in a zone at a party. Describe the feeling of that.
Well, with me, a lot of people, the bigger the crowd, the more nervous they get. I'm opposite. The bigger the crowd, the more relaxed I get. Because the hardest thing to do is to keep someone's attention. So if you're just picture yourself in a place with like 3 people in a room. It's real hard to keep those 3 people engaged in what you're doing. But if it's 1,000 people, it's almost like they all vibe off each other. So I could literally, crazy story from back in the days when we used to do Velvet on Sundays on 26th Street and 11th Avenue, shout out to Gungi. I was in there, and that crowd was rough. And Onyx Slam was out. Mm-hmm. And I was with my boy Do It Like Diddy and my boy James the Barber. And I don't know how we got the conversation. He was like, "Yo, I bet you can't make them fight." And I'm like, "What?" I said, "I bet you 20." I said, "I'll play 3 records right now, and now I'm gonna get them to fight." And they put that $20 up, and 3 records later, they were fighting. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, music is so powerful, and you can. I know me. I can control the room. I can control the emotion and the feeling in that room. If I want to make motherfuckers sad in that room, it don't matter how many people are in there, I could do it through music. So when it's a crowd and they're like there and they're ready to rock, there's nobody. I feel like an artist. I feel like I stood in the middle of the Coliseum in Rome, 10,000 people, and told them all to fucking get the fuck up and put one finger in the air. You know how powerful you got to be to make 10,000 people do that? So it's a high. It's like an adrenaline, and I still get it to this just at the Old School Jam.
Sure.
Just the other day, I had that moment. I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy, and I had to turn it up. So it's like an art. It's like being an artist. Mm-hmm. But because I'm a type of DJ that I'm gonna rock a party, and I'm on the mic, and I'm interacting with the crowd. So, yo, everybody jump out the window. They gonna head to that window. It's just they get caught up in my moment, and it's nothing like it. It's a real high.
Sure, you know, being a DJ is like being like you're orchestrating, everybody.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's a power. It's definitely something that's real powerful. Listen, as we wind this episode down, I want to let people know behind the speaker is your new baby.
Yes,
that will like we spoke about, featuring different people involved in music. You're still DJing all over.
Absolutely.
Right? What else do you got that you're working on?
Definitely, I just put out the remix for French Montana, Unforgettable. That's out there. And a few others. The Old School Jam. The Old School Jam is I don't like to talk shit about a lot of stuff I do. The Old School Jam I can talk shit about because that is really the best jam in the world. Like, we've been doing it for 14 years. Shout out to my team Straight Face. And it's basically, us giving back to the community. You know what I'm saying? And the great part of it is that the demographic of people that come to the Old School Jam are kids 4 or 5 years old with their parents to 50-year-olds, so old school people.
It's a family affair.
And we do it all over the city, in Jersey. We do it everywhere, and it's just amazing. Every DJ has been to the Old School Jam. You name them, they've been there.
You're passionate. You're very passionate. That's one thing I really like about you. You're always, anything you do, you're passionate.
For sure.
Any moments that really stick out to you that you're appreciative of, throughout the years, throughout the journey? Anything that sticks with you where you really, really made you who you are today? And I'm not talking about only just a DJ, just even as a person. Just in life. I'm gonna say being embraced by my peers. Yes, I'm saying, like, being embraced by I said this a few times when I tell the Kid Capri story, how we met. The fact that he wanted Tell us the Kid Capri story.
So we was at the Funk Hut, and my boy Frank Nitty at the time was my best friend, and we were big Kid Capri fans. I never knew how Kid Capri looked. I was 19 years old, whatever, and I was young, and I didn't know how he looked. So I'm rocking out, and I actually have this picture of that night. So so the Funk Hut had a real small booth, and the door opened inside, so the door could literally hit you if you're not looking. So I'm rocking out, I'm doing my thing, and the door, in the middle of me mixing, the door pushes, and the door, it distracts me, and I fucked the mix up, and I was so fucking heated. Like, I'm known for breaking fucking records if I screw up a mix. So I look, and all I could see was a guy with an angry face, and he's just saying something. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? And I slammed the door in his face. And I'm like, fucking dickhead, man. So two records later, Frank Nitty comes to the booth, and he's like, yo, Kid Capri's here, nigga. Like, you better turn up. And I'm like, word? I'm like, where the fuck? Like, where is he at? And he was like, he's right over there. And I remember he had a green hoodie, and I'm like, with the green hoodie, he was like, I was like, yo, I just slammed the door in his face. He was like, why the fuck would I said, bro, I'm mixing. He slammed it. I didn't know who the fuck he was. He said some shit, and I slammed the door. I played a blend that's his favorite, You Are My Lady, Freddie Jackson, You Are My Lady, with the Special Ed, I Got It Made beat. Okay. I played that joint, and I'm looking at his reaction, because I'm a fan of him, and he puts the face, and he's like, he shakes it, he's like, fuck that, I'm gonna go over there. He gets up, he starts walking to the booth, and I'm like, oh shit. So this time he opens the door, like, with his finger, like, edging, and like, ear. And I'm like, yo, and he was like, yo, my bad, man. He was like, I knew you wasn't in the mix. I was like, nah, yo, my bad. He was like, yo, what's your name? He was like, what the fuck is your name? And I was like, yo, Ted Smooth. And he shook my hand, and he was like, yo, I don't want to bother you, man. Just keep taking it to him. Turned around, walked back, and every Tuesday, he'll walk in, look at me, like, yo, let me get that Freddie Jackson. Play it for him, and we've been friends ever since. But to me, that was a real acknowledgement. Like, when the nigga you look up to gives it back to you on some legit shit, I could have retired right there. So moments like that, when you know that it's real, and you know that the real people that matter stamped you, those are the moments that I appreciate the most. From James Cruz, from, may rest in peace, Chris Lighty. Like, those are my mentors of mine. You know what I'm saying? I've been blessed and surrounded by so many dope, friends and mentors that I just been blessed, man. They kept me out of trouble when I was younger, like, real shit. You dig what I'm saying? And to me, those are the moments. And of course, when my daughter was born, that changed my life. But shout out to Ty. Love you, Ty.
I like your daughter because I've seen when you put her on Instagram, I've seen that she was making these rocks.
Yeah,
and she was giving them out to people, and on the rocks it would say, literally drawing on rocks that would say,
inspiring quotes.
Yeah, just like be great, or and just leave them for people.
Yeah,
I just loved how pure kids are. Like I feel like before they lose their innocence, they're amazing, and it really shapes who they become as they get older. Like this girl is literally writing on rocks, like love yourself or
and that
be
was her
great
idea.
Or stay focused, and leaving them for people, like in different things.
And everywhere I travel, she makes rocks. If she's like, Daddy, make sure you drop. So I'm dropping rocks in Japan.
Yeah.
I'm dropping some rocks in Cali. Yeah. And they find them and they hashtag and they post them. It's amazing.
It's important. And, I even seen like Tahiri supporting her.
Forget it. Tahiri loves that. She was like, people request rocks from her all the time, like cancer survivors. They'll be like, yo, can you please tell your daughter to make me a rock? And I'm like, amazing, and she makes them.
It's the rock, but yeah. Shouts to Ted. Ted, listen. As we wind this episode down, DJ Ted Smooth, man, I really enjoyed just going over the journey. Enjoyed Jessie Cotto, giving some relationship advice and how to support a man. Listen, every woman got to be like Jessie. Make that food, make that love, make that support. And shit, man, I'm telling you, people are going to be hitting up trying to find out where the cousins and sisters are at.
She just told me the other day, I need a manager.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like, people running down to her, yo, vibrating higher. She has like her own little clothing line. It's crazy. We're going to give you a shirt, too. I didn't want to bring the wrong size.
Okay.
But and we're going to, I guess, give her one, right, because she's here.
Ink blot.
Yeah, vibrating higher. Can I just give you as a twofer? Okay. I'm gonna leave you with some facts about me and people I don't trust. So I don't trust people / DJs. You ever been in a club and you hear the Junior Reed, the One Blood, Mother and Papa, and then it goes blah, and it transition the record. I made that shit up in 1999 at Latin Quarters on a Sunday. We're gonna stop all this taking credit for that shit.
Who's taking credit for it?
Every fucking DJ that wants to say I made that, and
there's not one person taking credit for it.
Tons. Now thank God that I was recording live. That's one of my CDs on my USB card. Is like, so you can hear it when I did it live. That's number one. I don't trust you guys when y'all use that shit and fucking say I made that up. And I also don't trust people that try to give me rules on the jean shorts.
George.
It's like, and I've been waiting to educate you, and I will educate Combat when I see him. The jean shorts ban, that started in our tournament in East Harlem together with Chea. Shout to G Bush.
When was
shout
this?
To Big Tato. This is late. I want to say 07, 06, around there, right? The tournament started in '93. We had it for 17 years. Do the math, but I think it's TBM. I forget the name of the crew. The little dudes from Lexington Avenue. They were actually the ones that came to the tournament and were making fun of people with jean shorts. And I'm like, what? That started in our tournament together with Chea, to the point that we had a section that was barricaded. That whoever walked in with jean shorts, they had to sit there. That
really?
was a jean. I got pictures of this shit.
Time out.
It was a jean short section. We ran people out of there. Like, we made the rules. Like, the rule is, if you're over 40, you get a pass. You can wear jean shorts. It's
how
fine.
do they know? They're checking IDs?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I had a siren. Like, when this tournament was the number one tournament in the city from 2008, 2009. Documented. We had a jumbotron and everything. When anybody walked in the park with jean shorts, the crowd would be like, over there. And I had a siren. It could be in the middle of a fucking game. You hear the game stopped. Where the fucking jean shorts at? It was ridiculous. Hilarious.
So anybody over 40...
Over 40, you can get it. Like, I wear jean shorts now. Okay. I'm good. Anything under 40, you can't do it. Girls, a jean skirt, we let you slide. Jean shorts is not cool. That's where it started. That's the history of it.
See, I'm a firm believer. For years, obviously not as long as you.
Right.
But for years, I've been pushing the no jorts.
Right. I'm in the rule committee.
Okay.
Like, that's us.
I've been pushing that shit.
I'm taking credit for that.
But I'll be honest with you. Girls look sexy in jorts.
No, this is what I'm saying. Listen, the dudes that used to come with the True Religions and the expenses, they'll be like, fuck that. I'm saying I pay money. We ran them niggas out of that fucking park because it was relentless. It's like... 1,000 people laughing. Yo, fam, the fucking G. Yo, sit in the corner. You got to sit in the corner, and it's a barricade. I'm going to show you the picture. Hilarious. And them kids from Lexington, they started it, and they brought it to my tournament, and then we made the rules, and that's it. Like, we are the fucking authority when it comes to jean shorts.
I can't wait to combat his, but more importantly,
document it.
But he's older now, so he gets a pass.
Yeah, you get the over 40, you good. I was gonna rock jean shorts today.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, no, I got my ID card.
Listen, Internet, I'm still running with no jorts. Anyway, as we end this episode, listen, Ted Smooth, at Ted Smooth on Instagram.
TEDSMOOTH.
At Ted Smooth on Instagram, at Ted Smooth on Twitter.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you follow the SoundCloud. Make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave comments, man. Leave comments in the SoundCloud. Leave comments on Twitter, at Premium Pete, at Premium Pete Show. And also, listen, I say this all the time. Check in from where you're at. Wherever the fuck you at. If you're from fucking Netherlands or Russia or fucking Italy, or you're from Brooklyn or Bronx or Milwaukee or Chicago or Detroit, wherever the fuck you are, on Twitter, at Premium Pete, at Premium Pete Show. Let me know where the fuck you at. Even comment on the SoundCloud. Let me know where you at. We'll give you a shout, man.
Yes, sir.
But listen, Ted, I'm so glad this episode finally happened.
Man,
funny.
It's in the can.
Funny. Just powerful and meaningful, man. And you're a good spirit, man. I wish you the best, most definitely.
Let me tell you one last thing, Pete. I'm glad I got to share that moment with Prodigy and you on that stage at the 1 year anniversary. Rest in peace of Prodigy. It was really special to see him, in that light. He came there to just have an interview, and it turned into like a mini concert. That shit was the dopest shit.
Whoa.
And it was just a vibe in that place. I just want to touch on that because it was a special moment for me. Yeah. And mind you, he's been coming to our clubs forever. Yeah. But to just be a part of that moment, and you was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Play another one. Yeah, it was nuts, man. So
I do want to say, on the 1 year anniversary, when I invited Prodigy to come, and he did turn that into a mini concert. And it's funny, as a DJ, you knew exactly when and what to play.
You
ran through all those you had that clip on deck for all those Mobb Deep hits, and got the place amped, man. And rest in peace, Prodigy, man. It's sad that who would have known that he didn't have much more time with us.
Facts.
But I'm glad that you were able to do that, and I thank you for being a part of 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, man, I did it for a sandwich and a soda. I told you, when I just make the call, and I'm there, man. And that's why I tell people, man, opportunities are never defined by money, man. Like you never know. I met so many great people at your thing, and I'm like, I gotta be there, like, because in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm doing behind the speaker, like I need to be in that world. And thank you to you too, because we had many conversations. You helped me out a lot with just some of the ideas, and just this is your world. I'm entering your world, so thank you for just the advice and all of that stuff. Like, it's appreciated.
Yeah,
bro.
no, and even for somebody who's been around, that don't have to have an ego with me. Like, I remember you telling me, you could have picked anybody to do the 1 year anniversary, and you picked me.
It was an honor.
And it was an honor to have you, man. I really appreciate that, man. Like I said, you're a genuine soul. I know sometimes in this game, we go through some ups and downs as far as like, trying to make things pop what we want to do on other things and shit like that. I know it's not always super, super gravy unless you Diddy or something like that. But I do want to say that your genuine soul, I feel, will always take you over the top.
Thank you,
I appreciate it. Internets, listen, like I said, we'll see you next episode. Make sure you subscribe, rate, tell a friend to tell a friend. DJ Ted Smooth.
Ted Smooth, stay face. You remember?
We out. Cheers. See you next episode. Cheer. Internets, if you like what you heard today, okay, then tweet me at The Premium Pete Show, at Premium Pete, or email me at thepremiumpeteshow@gmail.com. You were fucking with it. You weren't fucking with it. I don't care. I ain't taking it personal. I want to know your thoughts, okay? And I'll tell you another thing. All my businesses out there, small business, big business, whatever business. If you want to advertise on The Premium Pete Show, email me at thepremiumpeteshow@gmail.com, and let's get something working. Let's figure it out, okay? I'll see you next week. Cheer. Forget about it.